joining us.
You bet.
Who are you and what do you do?
I'm Bill Gerard. I'm president of Providien Medical, and we're a med device CMO with a presence here in Southern California and Northern Mexico.
What do you do for folks? Who needs you?
Well, as you know, the M&A activity in the med device space has just exploded in the last 5 years, approaching $350 billion. Now, the prime motive behind that's to create shareholder value, and part and parcel to that is finding ways to gain synergies and lower costs. And that's where med device CM comes into play.
So what kind of products do you manufacture? Surely you don't cover the entire industry.
You know, we pretty much do. We make literally over 7,500 SKUs, ranging from small titanium screws for surgery, plates, all the way up to full Class 3 medical devices.
How big a footprint do you have?
4 locations in Southern California, from Los Angeles all the way down to our facility in Tijuana, which is about 1,000 employees.
I had no idea you were that big. How many employees total?
About 1,400 in total.
So who is best suited to outsource the manufacturing in your view?
Well, again, you know, with the M&A activity, you take a look at, say, I think you referenced earlier, I heard the reference of Providien and Medtronic. You know, they'll look across their suite of manufacturing locations and say, we have, 175 injection molders. We need to pare that down. But rather than just to try to go exclusively to an injection molder, what we found and have seen, tremendous growth behind is them looking for a CM that has multiple different verticals. So, hey, let's go to Providien and get our injection molding done. They can ship that down to Tijuana, maybe put it into a final device, send it and manage it all the way through packaging. In many cases, do a machine component at their Los Angeles facility, ship it down, insert, mold it. So again, the suite of products, the large OEMs, it's really a nice niche.
How many contract manufacturers are there in the United States alone?
Hundreds. But what we've seen is a tremendous dichotomy. Over the last 7-8 years, you've seen a handful reach that, multi-billion, 10 billion, 32 billion in one case, and then a tremendous amount of small regional mom and pop kind of players. We found that having that, $100 to $300 million space gives you the breadth and the bandwidth to bring capital, to bring resourcing to the equation, but yet not be, cumbersome and difficult to work with.
When you are in someone's consideration set, they're surely looking at some of your competitors. What do you find is the best fit for you? And what are the kinds of contracts that I'm okay that we didn't win that one? That wouldn't have been a good fit.
Best fit for us, again, we have a tremendous spread of capabilities, but we find, we don't want us to take on the really large, $25, $35 million programs. As a $150 million CM, that's a little bit more than we're resourced. So we tend to stay clear of those. We also tend to stay clear of things like implantables. We do, again, Class 3, but there's Class 3 and then there's Class 3. Mm-hmm. So we try to stay in that medium complexity, stuff that'll generally fit in the size of your hand relative to full devices. Clearly on the component side, we make parts that are all the way up to 5 feet by 8 feet, large plastic enclosures for radio-oncology. And gentlemen, I make all your skins and covers for the TrueBeam. So,
my last question, just in the interest of time, where do your capabilities start and end? For example, do you have a handful of device design and development companies that say, oh, and you want to call Bill? Do you get in early? Where do you fall in the process, and where are the handoffs?
Sure. I think any CM will tell you that earlier that you can get involved, the better. We do partner with literally about a half a dozen design firms, all the way from recently several projects out of Australia. We do as well have internal industrial and mechanical design resources to help customers. It's interesting that some of the largest customers will come to you and say, hey, marketing guys are telling me I have a new product line, but I'm not resourced to develop it. Can you help? And you're like, you're a $37 billion company. But sure, yeah, I can help you out with that.
All right. Bill Gerard from Providien. Thank you so much.
You bet. Good to see you, Bill.
Thank you.